In today's episode, we've got reselling news, a weekly business recap, and a what's sold on eBay with a flip of the week you will not want to miss. What is up, Galaxians? Welcome to another episode of Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. If this is your first time here at the channel, my name is Ryan, and I'm a full-time reseller, part-time YouTuber, and podcaster working out of my home here in the Batcave, and this channel is all about the flip life. In today's episode, like I said, we're going to do reselling news. We're going to have a weekly business recap, which we've moved to this midweek episode. And we're going to have a pretty healthy what sold on eBay with a mind-blowing flip of the week. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. But first,
news updates.
Let's do the news. I'm going to start by asking for your input. Please let me know in comments or reach out to me at galaxycds@gmail.com. A few weeks ago, and throughout most of the season, eBay has been telling everyone that they're going to protect sellers from neutral and negative feedback for late arriving shipments. I'm curious if anyone is seeing anything like that happen. I've got multiple neutral feedbacks for late arriving items, and to this point, eBay has not removed any of them. Now, of course, I've responded to all of them with the standard boilerplate. These are delayed because of USPS. It was shipped within 1 business day, yada, yada, yada. But to this point, I'm not seeing eBay making any adjustments on those neutral, and I assume probably the same for negative feedback as a result of USPS delays. So let me know in the comments below if you've gotten any and if you've seen eBay remove any of those. To this point, I have not. So with that, let's get into the rest of the news here. There is an article over in the UK, which may be helpful for sellers elsewhere as well. It's really geared towards British, United Kingdom citizens, but it's a really interesting article on thisismoney.co.uk. Which online marketplace should you sell on? A small business entrepreneur's guide to Amazon, eBay, and more. I'm not going to go through the entire article. I will link to it below, but it's a really interesting article that covers different reselling sites. Now, of course, the specifics are directly tied to the UK sites, but it does give you some ideas of how the different platforms operate and compare. It talks about Amazon, it talks about eBay, it talks about Etsy, it talks about a site called Gumtree and several others. So if you're on the fence about maybe expanding your horizons beyond the sites you're currently using, go check out this article. Next up, the holidays bring out, obviously, a lot of gift giving. And in a lot of cases, we get gifts that we're not all that thrilled about. There's an article in uksports.yahoo.com. Why it's on that site, I have no idea. But French begin reselling unwanted gifts as early as Christmas Day. The French, they're not messing around with these bad gifts. More than 7 million French people plan to resell their Christmas gifts this year, according to a survey with more than 600,000 people who had hoped for something else already putting their presents up for sale on online platforms on Christmas Day. That's remarkable. I didn't even get to see family on Christmas Day, and these people are already reselling their gifts. This year, 18% of French said they would resell their presents compared to 12% back in 2018. The survey also found that 1 in 3 French people were disappointed by at least one gift last year. In a press release issued by eBay, Sarah Tayeb, head of sales in France, is quoted as saying they were expecting at least 3.5 million new posts between the 25th of December and the 3rd of January. The survey said it expected some 200,000 unwanted gifts to go up for sale online on Christmas Day, but by Friday afternoon, eBay France had already recorded more than 600,000 new listings alone. Tech products such as game consoles, smartphones were among the top items resold starting on December 25th. The list also included books, CDs, vinyl, clothes, and perfume boxes. So a glut of product, particularly in France, that hit from gift giving at Christmas. Remarkable. That is just fascinating to me. The family's still got to be in the house, don't they? And you're on your phone reselling the gift already. I wonder if it sells right away. Do you pack it up like right in front of them and ship it out? That's crazy to me. Lastly, there's a quick update again for this is all like European news today. eBay and Amazon update UK sellers on new Brexit agreement. If you were following the news, the two sides, the European Union and the United Kingdom, finally agreed on the terms of Brexit, where the UK will break away economically from the European Union. eBay and Amazon updated UK sellers on the new agreement between Great Britain and the EU. British newspaper The Guardian reported there are no tariffs on products sold between the UK and the EU. However, there will be considerably more bureaucracy. Why is that not surprising? eBay.co.uk is quoted as saying the UK and the EU have now reached a partnership agreement which will govern trading rules post January 1st, 2021. Thankfully, this is a zero tariff deal, so no new tariffs will be generally applied for UK goods. However, please note that goods will still have to comply with rules of origin to benefit from zero tariff arrangements. For more details on these rules, please visit the UK government's Brexit checker. So if you're in the UK, we talked about this a little bit last week, but with Brexit now in full swing starting January 1st, some of the things that you have to do in order to sell on the various platforms is going to change. So make sure you're taking a look at that. For my US folks, I guess the only thing I got for you is eBay and their seller protections on late shipments. So let me know how you're making out on that and if you're making any progress. With that, we are going to take a super quick sponsor break for those of you listening on the podcast, and we'll be right back with a weekly business recap. All right, so let's get into the weekly business recap. These recaps that will be coming out on Wednesday will be for the last calendar week. So this is for December 20th through December 26th. So right around the Christmas holiday. Listings for last week. With it being the holiday, I didn't do a whole lot. I actually really didn't do much of anything other than pack some orders from about 3 o'clock on Christmas Eve until Sunday. So I took it pretty easy last week, but I did still manage to get 81 new listings up for the week. In terms of sales, it was about what I expected. The trend had been downward for kind of the last few days of the week prior. That trend continued leading up to actually Christmas Day. Christmas Day was actually pretty remarkable. I had 25 orders on Christmas Day. So big day, Christmas Day. And then the following day was pretty good as well. So the week on balance was not too hateful. It was a little off of the normal, but that was kind of expected. Sales for the week amounted to $11.16.92. Cost of goods sold for the week, just $38.75, leaving me with a gross profit of 96.53% or $1,078.17. Operating expenses for the week were a little higher than normal. I mentioned the previous week that I was going to probably order some shipping supplies to get them on this year's accounting. I did, in fact, do that. I spent about $250 on boxes and bubble mailers and that sort of stuff. So operating expenses for the week were a little higher than normal at $632.92, giving me a net profit for the week of only 39.86%, but that was part of the plan to reduce some of the tax burden going into tax season. Net profit for the week, $445.25. So not outstanding, but about where I expected things to be, given that it was actually the holiday and that I was making some extra purchases to gear myself up for the start of next year. So all in all, no complaints about that. Now, let's talk about what sold on eBay. Now, this part of the show goes from last Wednesday through this past Tuesday. So it doesn't exactly line up ever with the weekly business recap. And the reason I bring that up is in the first 3 days of this week, so Sunday through Tuesday, I have done more business than I did all of last week. And many of the items that you're going to see in this What Sold on eBay recap, including the ridiculous flip of the week, are from those last 3 days. So let's get this thing kicked off. Christmas CDs continue to sell well. I sold lots of them, and very cheap ones under $10 kind of through the Christmas season. On Christmas Day, I received an order for this Natty Christmas by Jacob Miller and Ray I on RAS Records. So this is a reggae Christmas album. I had it listed originally for $29.99. It was part of my 20% off sale. I got an offer for $22 even. I own it for 3.5 cents. So, of course, I took that offer and sent this thing on its way. Next up, a book. This comes from the big 2,500 book lot. So I own this for 1 thin quarter. Complete Royal Families of Ancient Egypt from 2004. This was a really nice illustrated hardcover with a dust jacket. I listed this for $22.99, got a full price purchase on it with free shipping. So really nice flip from a quarter to 23 bucks. Another book. This was from a different lot. This one cost me about 50 cents. Webster's New 20th Century Unabridged Second Edition Dictionary. This thing was enormous. It was probably 6 or 7 inches thick by kind of the normal dictionary size. So it was absolutely huge. There weren't a ton of these out there. I listed this also at $22.99 plus free shipping and got a full price offer. It was like almost $9, I think, to ship, even media mail. So this wasn't a hugely profitable sale all in. Still not bad from a quarter, but the shipping was just crazy. Another set of books. This is also from the big 2,500 book lot. So this lot of 2 cost me 50 cents. 2 books about and from Dwight D. Eisenhower. So Waging Peace and Eisenhower Declassified. Part of that big lot, there was a lot of, as I've talked about previously, kind of presidential history in those lots. One of these books, and I don't recall which one it was, had quite a bit of value, and the other one was a $4 book. So I paired the $4 book with the more expensive book and lotted them up together to kind of move both at the same time. Sold it on an offer for $23.79 with free shipping. So not a bad flip from 50 cents. It was a big week for books about naval warfare. There's going to be 3 or 4 as we go through. This first one, also from that big 2,500 book lot, British Warships of the Second World War, a folio of authentic scale plans. So this is literally a book. It's in kind of a hardcover, but it's spiral bound within that. And it is literally just essentially drawings and diagrams and blueprints of British warships from the Second World War. Really, really interesting piece. It was massive. It was about 17 inches high by about 11 inches wide. So it was a really big, oversized book. If you're into that kind of stuff, a really fascinating look at naval ships from that era. This was another one. I think I had it listed for $27.99. I sent out a 15% offer on some things, and someone bought this for $23.79. A CD, old school 1990s era, Cabaret Voltaire, a 2 CD set called The Conversation. Now, if you're looking at that, you'll see that the genre says jazz. These guys are not jazz. It's a pop record. There's an ongoing issue, and I've talked about this before, with eBay's UPC numbers being tied to invalid categories. This is an example of that. I put the UPC number in. It came up as jazz. I just went ahead and left it. This still sold for $23.99, which is a full price sale. I own this for 3.5 cents, so nice flip. But you'll see that with, I've talked about before, books that you put in the ISBN and it comes up as fiction when it's a textbook and so on. I'm still looking. If you have an answer for how to fix that, let me know. But man, it's a real dilemma. There is so much stuff in eBay's catalog that is incorrect. Here's another one of those Navy books. Pocket Battleships of the Deutschland class. This came out in 2000. It was an illustrated guide to what they called pocket battleships that the German Navy had during the Second World War. I had this listed for $29.99. I got a best offer of $25 with free shipping. I own it for a quarter, so I sold it. This was really fascinating. This was in a big lot, a couple hundred books I bought for about 50 cents a piece. I'm going to butcher this, Michaelis Passé Dictionnaire Phonétique. This was a French phonetic language dictionary. Really interesting piece from 1914. It's another one I had listed for, I think, $29.99. I got a best offer of $25, so I went ahead and took it because I was only into it for the 50 cents. But I've come across a few. Actually, I think there's another one coming up here in a few minutes. Foreign language books in a couple of these lots. They tend to be really slow sellers because there's not a ton of traffic for that on the US eBay site. But this is one that went for $25. Another old book, 1872, A Woman's Pilgrimage to the Holy Land or Pleasant Days Abroad. This was a first edition illustrated book of a woman's journey through kind of the Mideast, through Jerusalem and the kind of the Holy Lands. Really fascinating item. This is another one that I had listed for $29.99. I got a best offer of $26 and went ahead and took that. A record album. I haven't sold a ton of records. I think a few weeks ago we had the Kentucky Fried Chicken Christmas album. This is, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this guy's name, is a piano recital including works of Handel and Johann Sebastian Bach. This was a really rare piece from a Chinese artist. I had it listed originally for $49.99 because I had like the only one out there. It's been here long enough that it got caught up in my 30% off sale, and someone bought it for $34.99 plus shipping. I own this record for 50 cents. Another book. This is The City of Ugarit at Tel Ras Shamra. This was a hardcover with dust jacket about an archaeological dig, I believe in kind of the Far East. So really interesting, tons of really cool illustrations of the process they went through and what they discovered in this city. Again, this was a fairly unusual book. There were not a lot of these out there. I had it listed for $36.99, free shipping, and that's what it went for. This is also out of the big lot of 2,500, so this was a 25-cent item. Another one out of the lot of 50-cent hardcovers. This is another foreign language book, Olesnika, and the rest of it I'm not even going to try. But this is a book all in Polish. Really tons of cool black and white illustrations. This is a hardcover from 1970. Again, I had the only one. I had it listed for like $80. I was running at 40% off, which made it like $45, $48. I got a best offer of $40.99. I own it for 50 cents. It's been here for quite some time to fall into my 40% off category. That means it's been here almost a year. So I went ahead and took that, but a really, really nice flip. More Navy books, U.S. Battleships and Illustrated Design History. If you've been playing along at home, a couple of months ago, I had a similar book that I sold. I believe it was on battle cruisers. This is a book, again, of diagrams, drawings, and illustrations of battleships from the United States Navy. There, again, were not a ton of these out there. $54.99 with free shipping. This is another one from the big 2,500 lot. So this is 25 cents into $54.99. And now the flip of the week. This is also out of that big lot. So I own this thing for a quarter. This is a book from 1909 from the Lakeside Press. If you ever find any Lakeside Press collections, you probably want to pick them up. They tend to be pretty valuable. Not necessarily as valuable as this one is going to be, but pretty valuable. This is Memorable American Speeches, Volume 3, Slavery. Again, it's from 1909. It was in really pretty decent shape. There were not a ton of these out there. In fact, I had the only one. I listed it for $549.99. It had a ton of watchers. I'd sent out offers on multiple occasions. I sent out an offer on Monday of this week for 15% off, which made it $467.49 plus priority mail shipping, and it is on its way. That is far and away the best flip I have done out of any of the lots that I've had. Essentially $468 from 25 cents. When that offer was accepted, my neighbors probably heard me hooting and hollering. I was pretty stoked about that. So a really nice way to kind of end the Christmas season with a really big flip from a really small investment all in. After all the fees, I did pay for insurance on this just in case something went sideways with it. This item net profit, $395.53. So I will take that all day long. So with that, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, as always, for coming by. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy and you had a good time here today, do me a favor and whack that thumbs up button. And now it's time to sell. Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Thanks for spending a little time with Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. If you'd like to spend a little more time, there's another video in the upper right-hand corner. If you'd like to spend a lot more time, you can subscribe down below.